Welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. He's the coach, Phillip Roybal, and welcome to the show. One of our all-the-time guests, one of our favorite guests, Mr. Jay Smith from Unfair Sports and the Sooner or Later podcast.
What do you mean one of our favorites? He is our favorite.
Thank you, Coach.
Happy
I appreciate
4th of
that.
July to everybody out there. He is definitely one of our favorites. Man, Jay's my boy, man. He's always if you want good content, you got to go over to Unfair Sports and check him out on everything. It's hard to keep up with the guy, so you just got to bring him on. That's just all it is. It's just hard to keep up with the guy. What's up, everybody? How are we doing? Happy 4th of July to everybody. Yeah.
Happy BBQ Day, baby.
Hey, man, it's been
it's a great day to be alive.
Yes, sir. What's up, Lemon Lime? How's everybody? Looks like we're kind of short on people. I get it. It's 4th of July, so we'll kind of get to. I'm sure everybody will pop in as they see what pops up. Lots of stuff going on, or of course in recruiting. We'll get into a little bit of that here in just a bit. I bet everybody is cooking over there. Don't you think they're?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who's making some plays for us. I know somebody's in there cooking some good stuff.
Right? Yeah. Let us know what's let everybody know what's going on, who's cooking what, and happy 4th birthday is tomorrow. Oh, your birthday's tomorrow. I had an uncle that was birthday was that day. Happy birthday there.
All right,
let's go. Here we go. What's up, Mars? How we doing? Thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for pulling up, Mars.
Yeah, for sure, man. We got your regulars in here, a few of them anyway. So obviously we'll talk a little bit of recruiting with Jay here towards the end of it. We'll talk about a few things like that, and then but we're gonna jump into. I kind of got a kick the last few days. What's up, Weston? How are we doing? Looking at some of this stuff, and Kirby Smart, if he's not just like Nick Saban, this constant underdog thing and everybody's disrespect, kind of this, that, blah, blah, blah. Well, it kind of even moved over into, which is weird to me, but it's even kind of moved into, he's even got a lot of people in the media saying the same thing for him, that the Bulldogs are the underdogs. That seems like something I've heard before. The Bulldogs are the underdogs. Coach, do you remember saying something like that one time?
Yeah, that's been said before. I know that.
For anybody who doesn't remember, Coach, my high school is the Bulldogs there in Artesia, New Mexico. Coach was playing them his first year in Hobbs, and decided he wanted to call them the underdogs. And he was like, put it in the paper. And I said, I'm not putting it. But
hey, when
it did go in the paper.
When you say those things, you're going to get the best out of them, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's how it kind of goes over there. So, yeah. Anyway, listen, Georgia seems to be one of the most doubted 2-time defending national champions in history. Is it warranted? Now, of course, this was coming from Dawgs Nation. Brandon Walker, what a nice guy. He popped that in there. You got to be effing kidding me, he says. But, we digress here. Jay, what do you think about this kind of? I mean, obviously, this was actually up there on the, I think it was on Fan Sports, part of Sports Illustrated, their little fan site or whatever. But you got a lot of people saying that they are being doubted this year going in. I think if there's a reason to doubt them, it would be the fact that they don't really have they don't have a quarterback that's proven yet. So that would be the reason why people maybe are. But do you feel like this is even a thing?
No, it ain't no thing. Hell, I mean, come on, man. You got the best team in the country back to back, and you're coming in again. You've just reloaded. Hell, that's just something to mentally tell your kids, your players. You're telling them, look, you're being disrespected, because as we all know, when you win something back to back, then those kids can kind of lose focus. And this is something as a coaching staff, by Kirby especially, that can bring them back into line to where they're having great practices, and every day you beat it into them that, hey guys, nobody respects you. You won back-to-back championships and you're not being respected. And that just makes them work a little bit harder and get more focused.
Jay?
So it is warranted, the questions about Georgia coming into next season, because the one thing we don't know is who's throwing the ball, who's handling the peel, who's doing the signal calling. We don't know. That's one. Two, they have a new offensive coordinator. Todd Monken's gone. He's with the Baltimore Ravens. And so when you have a new offensive coordinator and then new quarterbacks that you don't know who's even going to start, hell, there's been rumors about Brock Vandagriff hitting the portal for about a year now. And I mean, it seems like it's heating up more. We don't know who's going to throw the ball. So, yes, that's where your questions come into play. New OC, new quarterback. Sounds about like the recipe of, can you keep doing it? Most of the time when you have a team that does a two-peat and they're going for a 3, they usually have like that same, roster of players, mainly the key ones there. The quarterback is usually still there. The OC is still there. Georgia lost both. So that's where you're going to see those questions. Now, do I feel like Georgia is an underdog? No, not at all. Their defense is still, to me, what carries them. They're able to do it with Stetson Bennett. And so they just need to have a quarterback go in there that's capable. I think they'll be fine. Outside of that, though, yeah, those questions are warranted. The questions are warranted just like they're warranted for Bama right now. We're asking what they're going to look like because they've got 3 quarterbacks and a new OC. So that means they have 0 quarterbacks going into it this season. So, yeah, you're going to see a lot of this until you see some familiarity when it comes to the players on the field. Yeah, you're going to get questions. And it's always warranted when you don't have familiar faces on the field.
Well, and I have to say this. Mickey Mouse could be their quarterback, and they're going to be pretty damn good.
Isn't that who was their quarterback last year? Mickey Mouse?
I could go be their OC. I could be their OC and be pretty damn successful. And as you talk about Alabama in that same round, now they're in deep shit. I mean, when you got Tommy Reeves as your OC, I speak from experience, and also, the quarterback that we sent over there, I try to forget his name, so that'll tell you how. But you know what?
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
He can't throw to feed the starving birds, though, right?
Exactly. Now he throws pretty darn good to the other team. He's pretty good at that. But I tell you, he will not be the starter over there. But that's getting off the topic.
Listen, and I think that it's clear to say that. Oh yeah, here we go. I was hoping that somebody would throw that in there. Who else but Sooner Cowboy to say this?
Yep. Gotta have the the perfect profile picture too, just to terrorize everybody.
Yeah, right.
I love it.
Yep. Okay, so
a terrorist move.
Listen,
attaboy, Sooner Cowboys.
I love it, Sooner Cowboys too. I was hoping you would say that. I think that as you said right before that, the usual suspects being Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, and in the one poll that it was more like a power ranking or something that they had there on Sports Illustrated, where they were showing Georgia at number 3. Behind Alabama and Ohio State. Ohio State also has a new quarterback. I know that you look at Ryan Day and you look at what they do offensively, and you figure that they're probably going to adjust quicker. They'd have the best running back or the best receiver room in the country by a lot. This is you're talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. coming back, some things like that. But in the end, I feel like this is like what Coach said. I feel like this is a lot of that coach speak. This is a lot of you, if you're Kirby Smart, really trying to just get your team motivated to make a run that nobody has done in a long time. The closest we've seen to anybody getting a 3-peat would have been that USC Texas game, and that goes back 15, 16 years, 20 years even. So, You know,
it's true.
I mean, this is a long time ago, and that was the closest it was, and they didn't pull it off either. And that was one of the best college football teams, certainly in my lifetime, was to watch that SUC program and Reggie Bush and those guys running up to it. And of course, you know, it's the best football game I've ever seen, which I hate to say that too, with the fact that it was Texas in there as well. You know.
Well, you know what, guys, talking about Alabama a little bit, Nick Saban. Guys, every time that Nick Saban is counted out, look what he does. Every time you count him out, he's too old, he's lost it, his team not going to be very good, he doesn't have a quarterback, hey, keep counting him out, people, because I'm telling you, I'm not a Bama fan by any means of the imagination.
Right.
But I can tell you, they will be in the thick of it this year.
I mean, every year
they're always in it. I mean, when you look at that recruiting class that they just brought in there, and you look at that defense, which we probably should have gotten Ty in here today, but you start talking about, and Jaden Milroe, this is not just some chump off the street. This guy was a freaking big time quarterback coming in. He's probably one of the higher rated quarterbacks just coming out of high school than you generally even see going to Alabama, to be honest with you. You don't see it an awful lot. To me, I think that they're going to get it figured out. Now, do I trust in Tommy Rees? I mean, do I think it's going to be Buckner that's going to play? No. But I also don't think that they do anything a whole lot different no matter who the offensive coordinator is. It's still going to be Nick Saban's system. It's just going to be, you're going to run your certain little wrinkle to it, but you're going to run it that way. And the truth of it is, when they get ready he loves it that they're going to run the football anyway. If that's what they're going to do is just feed those running backs, which they're going to be good when it comes to the running back crew there in Alabama. That's going to be fine with Nick Saban. Tommy Rees may work out just fine because they're not going to have to throw it around a lot. And I think that in the end, you see some of these guys that struggle in the spring, and by the time the fall rolls around, they've got it together, particularly if you're playing for Coach Saban. I expect that whoever is the starter game one will have shown something throughout, by the time all's said and done. In the end, do I still think that it's not Georgia? No, I think it's Georgia. I think that they have most of their guys coming back. They lost 10 total players to the draft and graduation or whatever, plus, losing Bear Alexander to USC. In the end, they're reloading there. They've got it going as far as that defense is concerned. And like, as you said, Coach, they are always going to lean on that side of the football anyway. If you can get a guy like Stetson Bennett, like you said, Jay, to go in there and just kind of manage the game, and you're going to go in there and put pressure on the other team's quarterback. And they have the easiest schedule, by the way, of that you could possibly get being in the SEC. Obviously, Oklahoma Oklahoma benefits from that as well this year. The SEC canceling that game between Georgia and Oklahoma because they weren't going to be able to finish off the series a year ago. That ended up, both teams were left scrambling to find somebody to put in their place. You end up with these kind of, these FCS programs, stuff like that. It is what it is. In the end, I believe that, you're probably looking at, I don't see how you don't get there. I think their toughest game is going to be Tennessee? I mean,
probably Texas, to be honest.
Georgia's toughest game is probably going to be Tennessee. They don't play LSU this year, do they? I'm looking at there now. Yep, they traveled to Knoxville at the end of in mid-November, right. So that's going to be tough. Then they travel to Auburn at the end of September. Not sure what Hugh Freeze is doing, but it'll be his first year. So we'll see if he leverages what talent they already have. It can make something happen. And
rivalry games.
Yeah, and then traveling to Florida for the world's largest cocktail party. So
sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. The world's largest cocktail party. I love that one.
I like
questions.
But yeah, obviously that is a questionable one there, but they ended up switching that other game out with Tennessee Martin. You expect them to do fine there. Ball State, South Carolina being September 16th. That's their third week of the season.
I tell you what, though, guys. I mean, South Carolina, don't count them out. I mean, they could pull something off.
I like Beamer. I like Shane quite a bit as a coach. What I can tell you is that I don't like in that situation. And then this one's at Georgia. This is the kind of game that Spencer Rattler will pucker up like this and fall apart. When you put pressure on him the way that they're going to be able to put pressure on him, we as Oklahoma fans, we know what happens to Spencer Rattler when you put him under pressure. And,
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you, Jason. And I'll say this, though. South Carolina is one of those teams, if they get rolling a little bit, they can be difficult. If they get on a roll, they can be a little difficult.
Yeah. Listen, I agree with you on that. And as I said, I think Coach Beamer is doing a great job. He apparently loves it there. But I just, man, haven't seen what we've seen out of Spencer Rattler. Now you can see good Spencer will go out there and light it up. But when you put him in a position where he's getting, a lot of pressure, and that's what you're going to get from this Georgia front seven anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you start seeing him have struggles, right? So, yeah. Hey, Matt, what's up, man? Happy for us, sir. But looking at this, I mean, the Kentucky game, I suspect that they're going to be fun. That Auburn game is, I don't know what Hugh Freeze is going to do. I know that they're already on the recruiting end. They're starting to look good. They picked up another big-time 4-star receiver today. He looked pretty good. I mean, it looks like that they're starting to move that around. I don't feel like that's probably going to be their biggest problem this year. But, yeah, I mean, look, if you're looking at that schedule, it just doesn't look like it's that. Let's see. Where's the whole thing?
Well, those games are spread out too, guys. And, that makes a huge difference when you have to play a tough ball game back to back, and they're not in that scenario.
Yeah, you've got November 18th, the at Tennessee game. That would be, the next one.
Yeah.
I could see the Ole Miss game possibly being a struggle. The cocktail party, as you said, Jay, but after Kentucky, they got Vanderbilt on the road. It is, let's see, they get Missouri at home, they get Ole Miss at home, then they're on the road at Tennessee, as you can see there. I feel like this is probably it. Again, I've seen tougher schedules, particularly for the defending champions. And so you got a couple of little spots where you could see a possible stumble there. Of course, last year they did struggle with Missouri. I think that some of the games that you wouldn't expect them to probably struggle in is when they do it. And that's just kids, that they kind of overlook somebody, and you can kind of see that kind of happening. But in the end, I still feel like they're definitely the odds-on favorite to win it. I don't know about this underdog stuff. It seems a little silly to me. That's my stuff. But let's see let me jump in here and see kind of what everybody.